And then there were two. Welcome back, everybody. Thursday night, time for another little beerful show. Take a look at some beers and some different things happening in the beer area. And of course, I am. And then there were two. Well, let me get the background off of that one. So it is I, Rod J, and of course, here is Eric. Eric, a Lions fan. How you doing, brother?
Good, good. How you doing, buddy?
Good, good. So, Eric, up in Michigan, kicking back, enjoying a beer. What are you drinking there tonight?
I'm on Cheap Beer Thursday, so I went to my old standby, which is Miller Lite, a fine Pilsner.
A fine Pilsner. They put it on the can. You got to go with that.
Hey, if they put it on the can, it must be right.
It's got to be like the internet. If it's on the internet, it's true, right?
Exactly. So. Exactly.
And then I have not had this one before, so this is kind of a new one, but it's the Lagunitas something easy ale. So this comes in at 5.7% ABV. Yeah, 5.7. Didn't say what style it was that I saw on here, but 19.2 ounce can. Decided to pick it up. And then I have another one down in the cooler that I will do a review on. So, but gonna get this baby poured. And of course, earlier this week, I had done a video on the cooler they sent from New Air and the unboxing of that, and then the setting up of it. This weekend, I'll end up doing the final one, like the review on it and what I think of it thus far. They actually reached back out to me, so if people were interested. On those other two videos, they actually want me to put the codes out there where it's like a 20% discount if you use the code word BeerVentures on the New Air site. So the retail price for what I've seen is about $240, $250, something around there. So you get like, $40, $50 off, whatever it may be. But I don't know, I'm still checking it out. I put some stuff in there. I organized it the way that I was looking at it with doing some bottles and doing some cans because more of my stuff is actually bottles than it is cans. So that definitely hit the space that's available from the cooler. So I'll talk about that stuff when I do the review and everything. But outside of that, get that nice little pour into this one here. And I actually decided to mug it up tonight. So nice head on it. And got a nice little bit of carbonation. It's going to get a little closer. You can see all that bubble action streaming up there. So
is it a blonde ale?
It looks like it's like a blonde or
maybe I was going to say wheat, but I don't think it's a wheat.
Not a wheat. I would say maybe like more of a blonde. I don't know if they might have kind of made this a session type ale with them.
What do you say it was? 4.2?
5.7.
Oh, 5.7. Mine's 4.2. What am I thinking of?
I'm saying this is going to be like kind of their like session pale ale.
Well,
because I'm getting hoppy, I'm getting tangerine, I'm getting orange. I'm getting some bitterness out of it. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a bite on the back end. I would definitely say it's probably more of a session. I would say maybe a session American Pale Ale more than an IPA, but it could be an IPA as well.
Is that one of their newer offerings?
I think it is. I think it just came out a little bit ago. I'm going to say a little bit ago, like this summer. This was the first time I picked it up, but $1.79 for 19.2 ounce can. Not a bad deal at all.
No, not bad.
And then I got the Founders All Day down there as well. So if I drink that, I might drink that.
Solid choice.
Yeah, and that also is a 19.2 ounce can as well.
I seen someone having those 19.2 ounce cans. I said, "How much will you get for a 6-pack?" He goes, I'll give it to you for $11.99. I was like, hell yes! I grabbed 6 of them and gave him $12 and keep the change, and I was out of there. That's almost like a Rod J deal. You gotta be careful. Just make sure it's not 6-year-old that he gave you. Oh no, I made sure the dates on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost automatic now. You need to check those and everything. So to make sure you're in good shape. And then let me pull up the other screen here because we don't have Joe tonight. So Joe is usually here doing the comments. So I'm going to pull up the comment screen just so we have that as well. I don't miss any comments out there. We stay engaged. Give me a second here.
while you're waiting there, Redbeard says, "Hey, what be going down?"
Oh, he's already. See, I can't even see anybody out there because I haven't been able to pull it up yet. So.
And then Brandon Garrett comes out and he says, "I started the evening with some Dogfish Liquid Truth Serum." I don't think I've seen that one here.
And that was from Dogfish Head?
That's what he says.
Huh.
I've never seen it here.
What did it taste like, Brad? What did you think of that one? Brad's actually in your neck of the woods, too, I think. I mean, I say your neck of the woods, but I think he's in the Michigan area. I don't know what part of Michigan, but he is in Michigan, I believe.
Oh, Brandon is?
Is it Brandon or Brad that was on there? Because I had Brandon.
Brandon.
Okay. No, I'm thinking of, I thought you said Brad. Okay.
Yeah. Todd's supposed to be on here, but must be computer issues.
Yeah, Todd is trying to get his computer to work out because he has to go in one way, then go out and come in another. It's kind of a weird type thing that only Todd seems to have. So it's like Drunken wanted his computer restarting at 9 o'clock. It's kind of one of those weird type things that happens.
So kind of getting into some beer news. What did you think of, I know we touched on it a little bit last week, but what did you think of the, the Tallgrass suspending their production?
Funny you should mention that because I've got like 3 or 4 different Tallgrass I have reviews coming out on their beers. It's like, so what do I call this series now? They're going and forgotten or something. It was interesting. Well, from what I read on that piece, it seems like they actually. Oh yeah, Brandon is up in Ohio. Okay, Brandon's in Ohio. Brad's actually in Michigan. So,
all right.
Brandon's not really too far from me and everything. He's like, I think Brandon's like the other side of basically Dayton. So I'm like south of that. But it's one of those things where you looked at them. I think we mentioned it last week. We were kind of surprised that they were in like 18 or 19 different states, I think. So it looks like they may have actually stretched themselves too thin, just so to speak. I don't know if they weren't, because one of the things they cited was that they were seeing more people go into their local community type beers.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're that much out, you're kind of coming into someone else's backyard, and the people are drinking the ones there in their backyard, then you're going to be on the outskirts. Like me here, I get Rheingeist and I get Street Side and Urban Artifacts and all these other breweries. So yeah, someone comes in like Dark Horse. I like Dark Horse, but I may not go Dark Horse with all the other ones around here. I want to kind of go local, even though I know Dark Horse makes a good beer. So that kind of plays into that situation. But what did you think of it? What was your thoughts on it?
I've had a couple of their beers. I had the King Buffalo, the Buffalo Sweat. I've always wanted to try the 8-bit, which I haven't had a chance to try that one yet. But those two that and there's one other one. I think there's like one, I want to say like a key lime pie or something.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I've seen that one. I haven't grabbed that one. But from those two that I remember, I thought they were really good, and I thought they did a really good job with those. But I think you're right. Maybe they maybe expanded it a little bit too quickly, or like you said, in somebody else's backyard, where it's like especially up here in Michigan, and I'm sure down in Ohio too, there's a hell of a lot of breweries and people canning and bottling their beer out here and just having it distributed just in the Michigan area alone. And then you have Tallgrass coming in and trying to take some of that up, and there's just so many beers out there that people are passing them by. That very well could be too.
Yeah, because I mean, when I got the Tallgrass that I did purchase, which one of them was 8-bit that I have the review coming out on, it was in racks of other beers in these shelves and everything. So it's kind of like, okay, I haven't had any of them. I know about them, so let me go and try them. And you grab their beers, but at the same point, it's like, oh, these other ones come out. Plus, here we have so many locals that come out with so many local variants. It's like, well, I need to get that one because that'll be going in a few weeks or something too. So it's almost like when I try these other ones from outside the area, it may be at times when other stuff isn't happening locally. So that's the reason I usually pick them up or so. But it's tough to go. I heard the brew pub is still open, so I think they're still doing that part of the operation. and trying to see what they can do to save the rest of the brewery. So it hasn't fully shut down for them, but yeah, I mean, there's concern there for sure.
And maybe that was the best decision for them to kind of cease production right now, except for their tap room. But I kind of thought of it as, you're expanded. What was it? What did you say? 18 states?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're expanded to 18 states. Maybe kind of reel it in a little bit and kind of bring it back into your region and try to see how you do in your region, maybe a out of state here or there, or what? Because those guys are out of Kansas, I think. You could go to Missouri and see how they do. You could go to Nebraska. See how you do. What's the one to the west? Colorado. You could try to keep in that region instead of going all out to 18 states and trying to compete with everybody else.
Right.
What's going on, Todd?
Hey, what's up? Finally was able to get on the damn computer.
I don't know. You get that bootleg cable in Indiana or something.
I don't know what it is. Then I tried to use my daughter's, which is better than ours, and theirs was running slower than my shitty computer.
The struggle is real for Todd and the internet.
It is. It's like it's 1975 or something.
That dial-up.
Which was a good year, by the way.
Dude, this kid is tearing it up in the Purdue game. I'm just going to say, whoever this number 4, they were talking about him earlier. He's like a wide receiver. He's probably the highest prospect that ever came into Purdue. He actually turned down Alabama as one of the schools to go to Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
True freshman.
I've been watching the Purdue game.
Yeah. But let's see here. What are you drinking there, Todd?
Heretic. Juicier than Val. It's a New England style IPA with mango. Comes in at 6.5% ABV. They're out of California.
Okay. I haven't had them before. I haven't heard of their brewery.
And make another one. It's called Make America Juicy Again or something. It's really good. The name is terrible. The beer's really good.
Yeah.
And they're fairly inexpensive. I mean, they're great. So I haven't had this one yet.
What do you think about it?
I haven't drank it yet. I just cracked it open. It smells really good out of the can, though.
Just did a pour.
Definitely get the mango out of it for sure. Knows what it looks like. Not as easy looking as most of them. Can y'all hear me okay on that? I'm not echoing or anything.
No, you faded in a little bit there, but you came back. So
I was trying to figure out whether to log in on my phone.
When you turned your head over, you faded a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Trying to figure out whether to just log in on my phone or just stay on the computer.
But I mean, you're fine there. You're not getting any feedback or anything.
If you start having troubles, just let me know and I'll switch over. For some stupid reason, my phone will let me onto the app unless I log into my computer first. For some reason. Like I've got the Google app on my phone, but it won't let me log in. I don't know. Fucking.
We'll let Ty get a little more settled there. But,
just fucking whatever.
But Brandon said the Liquid Truth Serum is their post-boil hopped from what he's drinking. And
ooh, that's really good.
Go blue out there after find out Brandon was from Ohio. Just stirring the pot, always stirring the pot.
Hey, well, look, the Browns are kicking the Lions' ass. I quit watching them sons of bitches.
And then, so Brandon said he's from around Athens. So Athens is just north of Dayton. I guess you could say like northeast of Dayton. And then I'm southwest of Dayton. So sooner or later, maybe we'll get together and do some beer type stuff. Maybe we'll meet up at Jackie O's or something. James is in the house. He says, sup, Cap. So welcome, James. And welcome, Eric Gilbert. Red Beer said he's got some IPA number 6. I don't know if that's real or not from Collective Arts because I know they all love IPA number 5 up there. But says he has the 6 now. And Eric Gilbert says, I plead the 6. And then James says, remember, it's always 1975 somewhere. Yeah. And then Turtle, welcome, Turtle. He says, hey, guys, first time checking in on your live stream. Like your background, man. So appreciate it. Thanks, Turtle. And I actually I knew of Turtle, but I finally talked to Turtle when I was on the Craft Beer Pours show the other night. I went over there yesterday and talked with a few of the guys and stuff on there. So definitely appreciate the sub and coming in and joining and see some good stuff or things you want to comment on, please do so. And then in other stuff, so start to look at things. So this week, this Saturday, I will actually be at the Cincy Beer Fest.
Was that this weekend?
Vlogging there?
Huh?
You gonna do any kind of beer vlogging?
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to get some blogging. Well, usually what I'll do is I'll try to get a walk around first to kind of see who's all there and stuff like that, and shoot some video, catch up with a few of the guys if possible, and then go from there and try to catch some of the action and stuff. So it's kind of weird because it's Labor Day weekend. Because I know like Todd was looking to try to come up before and everything like that, and we were supposed to have people coming through, but Labor Day weekend is just kind of a weird type filter to have like a beer fest on because people got all their family stuff they're doing. But excuse me, this year is actually this year is at the Reds ballpark, which is the first time they've done that there. So that's kind of going to be interesting. So we'll have some of the Red stuff in the background as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is it going to be actually like on the field?
No,
in the concourse.
Yeah, the concourse. You get all those people drinking on the field. They'll tear it up, and it's like still doing. Even though the Reds are in contention, it's still
right. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's pretty cool, though.
You probably get the people in the field to be the most action they've had on the Reds field this year, but
they do a beer fest here at Louisville Bats, which is the Cincinnati Reds AAA team.
Yeah,
also happens to be the stadium where Against the Grain functions out of.
Okay.
And they'll do a beer fest in the I think it's in let's see, October, I think, maybe towards the end. It seemed like it starts right before fall, but they do it on the concourse there too. Okay. I've not been to it yet. It seems like it starts early on a Friday. It's like it's really weird hours for some reason.
But that would be something cool to check out as well. And then James says he's enjoying the Bell's Two Hearted Ale, so a nice classic IPA.
Nice.
Eric Gilbert,
never go wrong with the Two Hearted.
Eric said the 6 is totally real. Peach and assortment of hops. Get ready for the hipster love. So the IPA number 6 is a real beer, it seems. And then Turtle asked what we were drinking on, and I'm actually drinking the Lagunitas Something Easy for the first time. I'm trying this one out. And then Todd's got the Heretic Juicier than Thou.
And I've got the Miller Lite.
I'm gonna tell you what, this one tastes straight like mango juice.
Yeah, so you're digging it there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You could easily. It's only 6.5. I say only, but 6.5. You could pound that one on a good summer day for sure. It's not real heavy, real light bodied. I like it. Not your. I wouldn't say it's your typical style New England IPA, but it's.
I would say that Eric, you were actually pretty much there. It's like it has that paleness to it, but I just looked on Untappd when I checked this in, and Untappd isn't always 100% right, but they actually classify it as a pale wheat ale that someone put in. So it's kind of a mix of both there, but you really don't get any of the wheat out of it, which is nice.
What is it you're drinking again?
The Lagunitas, the Something Easy Ale came out this year earlier. I picked up.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, 19.2 ounces. Pretty damn good, though. So hard to not get that with Lagunitas. I mean, you just get such a good value in their stuff.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you really can't go wrong with their stuff, really.
Yeah, and you
price
can't
point.
Price.
Yeah, price point and just the quality of beer so far still been up to par.
But before I go back to the beer fest, so these guys, Lagunitas, as you two already know, so hopefully next week I'm actually set up to hit their Chicago brewery with my contacts up there. So I'm looking to get some pretty good footage, get some sit down with some of the key people up there, get you guys a behind the scenes look at some stuff, and of course enjoy some beer. So that'll be something I'll be bringing back from Chicago next week. Is a nice little trip to Lagunitas.
Nice.
When I get to Chicago, and I'm going to try to also get to Revolution Brewing as well, and then a few of the other spots around there. They got 5 Rabbits up there, so I'll be in there for a few days and see what I can gather, get put together.
You're going to try to get to Goose Island too, or no?
Actually, Goose Island won't be a bad one to get to as well. Definitely a possibility. So yeah. And then if I can't get one in,
I don't know where Goose Island's at. I know. I mean, I know it's in Chicago, but what part of Chicago?
I think it's like northern Chicago.
By Wrigleyville that way.
Like toward that. From what I looked on the maps before, I'm going to map it out. I haven't done it yet for this trip. I was thinking when I looked last time, and I was going to try to get to some breweries. I thought it was like north and like just west of like the lake or whatever. But I don't know how far up it was. But if I can't, also what I'll probably do if I don't get out to all the breweries, they got some pretty cool old like places up there. Last time I went there, I went to Miller's Pub, which was kind of this neat older type establishment, which was really cool. And they had all different kinds of beers on draft, but it had like the old like architecture from back in the day and like the whole gangster type thing and all the different stuff. It was pretty sweet, and they got some stuff there. That's actually where I had Matilda for the first time, was at that one. It was a totally different experience than what you had and the one you had there. That's what I was saying. Yeah. And then I went to another one. It was one of the other pizza and bar places, and they had just been voted the best deep dish in Chicago when I was there, which was different because you always hear about Cacanos and some of these other places, and this one was voted by the people as being solid. So should be pretty good. Actually, James up there, and I got to let James know. I'll let you know when I'm up there as well, but he said on the north side, you can take the CTA to several brew pubs. So maybe like just do a little brew pub dropping in on stuff. He said must see in Chicago, Half Acre and Metropolitan. Also my fave, Dovetail. And Eric Gilbert says I haven't got any of the 6 yet. Likely pass out. He said I probably pass on it like the 5th. So Eric didn't even try the 5th when it came out, even though all the guys in Canada seem to rave about it.
Right, I'd track down Pipeworks Brewing Company also if you get a chance.
Chicago, okay.
Yeah, or if you can find. Or if you find any of their stuff on the shelves, get their stuff too.
Well, if I don't get all the breweries, there will be a carload coming back. The car will be riding lower than when I go up, for sure. Even though I have no idea where I can put all the beer. I mean, that's my only concern at this point. If I buy more beer, I'm going to have to get like the higher ABV stuff so that I can sell it for a bit.
Oops.
That I can actually sell her for a bit of time because I have so many down there.
Might as well get yourself some Bourbon County while you're over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still need to check in my stuff and do the app on, or do the folder thing on Untapped.
Well, doing it on Untapped is a lot easier than I was doing before, for sure. Definitely recommend that. If you want to make your own seller list or your beer list, look at the app, create the list, and then you can make it so every time you drink it, just checks it right off your list for you as well. Just the easier way.
Will it let you scan them in, or do you have to type them all in?
No, that's the other thing too. You can scan them in by barcode. So
okay.
Oh, nice.
At the barcode, you just put the barcode and it scans right on it, and then it puts that beer, and it'll ask you if you put on your list how many do you have of that beer, and you just like hit 5 or 6. You have a 6-pack or you have a 4-pack or whatever, or you just have one. You just hit the thing and it puts it right on there for you.
Now, do they on those say like your KBS? You have a 2014 and a 2018. Are the barcodes different on those, or does it just pops up KBS? Doesn't it? It doesn't necessarily.
It might be. I think on I haven't checked the one on KBS. You know what? I have. Let me check it. Let me look at it real quick here.
Yeah, how do you get to the mind? I just meant in general, just on any beers, yearly beers that come out.
Now, how do you get to the seller app? Because I'm on it right now.
You actually create the app, like you create a list. So if you go to the app and you hit like the my person, myself thing, it'll automatically have a wish list there. Like what Joe does, he just uses the wish list. Or you click new list. And so like I do new list, and it'll say, and I made like on hand, cellar, or fridge. And I just start tracking beers onto that list.
Okay.
Then that controls all the beers I have in the house and lets me know everything there. And
I was checking it out after you all mentioned that. I was like, I never even noticed you could do that as a feature on there.
And you can put it in like bottle date or Best By date. It gives you the different options there, which is good. So you're able to plan out and rotate your stuff the way you need to.
I'm going to try that.
Stuff. And then James has told me also, yeah, Eric also said who opened a barber shop. So that's what it sounded like. James said also to consider Chicago are suburban breweries, 2 Brothers, and 3 Floyds.
Yeah, because isn't 3 Floyds kind of right on the border of Indiana and Illinois?
So they get good distribution there. And so for for James, I'll actually be there like Wednesday through I think Saturday. So I can
Rod, you might be able to get some 18th Street too while you're up there. I don't know if they get into Chicago or not, but
I'm like, geez, I'm gonna need a bigger car. I'm gonna need like a freaking U-Haul.
you need to bring one of those just trailers you can just hitch to your car.
Yeah.
Just need to bring the whole
trailer.
Bring the whole store back. But
might have to hit a bank or two on the way too if you're going to get that much shit.
But in talking
about a credit card or something.
Yeah, you're living, sir. Why need another one then?
Get some frequent beer buying.
Look, I got good credit, so I'm good for it. Let's see. So the Cincy beer list this year, as far as a few notables that will come in here, we got a couple. Like we have a new brewery called 3 Points. They're going to have some stuff there, but we're actually going to have BrewDog taking a part of it, and they're going to have their Pina Playa, which is their Goza. That'll be part of it. Braxton Labs is going to throw in a New England IPA, which should be pretty solid. We'll have Brew Kettle down here, which is pretty popular in Ohio. I think you get them, Eric, as well, where you're at distribution. I don't know. You get them in Indiana, Todd, Brew Kettle?
No. I've not seen them. If we do, I haven't seen them.
Okay. Well, they're going to have their Fruit New England IPA, which I have not seen at the Lazy Mango. But they got their White Raja, which Raja, that people seem to love. And it is a good beer. I've had it before. And, of course, we have the Oktoberfest beers dropping in, too. So they have their Oktoberfest. And they'll have a nice Dunkel as well, the Herbstweizen. And then we also have some more local with, like, Brink's going to have their Van Hoppen Pineapple. Now, that sounds pretty damn good. It's a double IPA, 7.5% ABV. So a pineapple-type New England IPA, double IPA probably. They got their Mango Habanero. That's another solid one. Dogfish Head is going to have their Mixed Media, which is a beer-wine hybrid. That's interesting. Get a little bit of Fatheads in there. Fatheads always like brings their Bumbleberry, but then they're also going to have their Abusive, like IBU, SIVE, Abusive. Get it? Abusive. Never mind. So.
I got it.
Let's see here. I'm trying to see if there's anything that really pops out. Now, here's one that'll be interesting. Fretboard has one called Cool Meditation. It's an imperial stout with peanut butter. I do like the peanut butter type beers, so that'll be interesting to check out.
Have you had much of their stuff, Rod, since the February show, or no?
No, I haven't been up to that brewery yet. But yeah, when you came down, we actually had some. We had some of their beer, and it was pretty solid as well.
I get notifications on Untapped from them all the time, or check-ins or whatever from them.
Yeah, people are digging them here, though. I mean, that's the thing that people seem to like them. We got so many different breweries; it's hard to get to them all. It's this one here. We got more New England IPA. Grainworks, their Pound Sign, No Filter. Grainworks is doing a bourbon barrel aged Scotch ale, Willet barrel, and that's 8.5. So that'll be nice. Great Lakes will be here. Great Lakes will have their Raspberry Holy Moses, which I have wanted to try that one. But I did like their Holy Moses as well, which is their white ale. The Guinness is here. Hairless Hair, Heavy Seas. Heavy Seas is bringing in a single cannon of Amarillo. We have some of our list. We have
the Heavy Seas single today.
Oh, did you?
Can't remember which one it was, though. It was an Imperial Stout, I think.
Listerman has their peanut butter porter, which Listerman, they do some pretty good stuff.
Hopefully my brother's coming to town because, he lives in Cincinnati now. Hopefully he's coming to town this weekend. I gave him a list to stop at Listerman and bring me some stuff on his way in.
Yeah, just say go find me and I'll get him hooked up on what he needs. We're going to have a good amount of platform beer, so that's nice. They've got Outskirts of Paradise, their new hazy IPA, the Basic Beach, a kiwi strawberry Berliner, their Foster Bananas, which is a Berliner Weiss, and then Rheingeist is going to have their Maracuja, which is a passion fruit sour. The problem with Rheingeist, though, with a lot of their stuff, it still feels like an IPA.
Yeah, I agree.
But the list is looking okay. It doesn't look as good as when we had the one that we had. But then again, we have 500 plus beers for that one. So anyway, I'll try to get some of the stuff from the Beer Fest so you guys can see some of the stuff happening and then be able to check out. And then in the comments, James says, yeah, if you can't make it to the breweries, we have awesome bottle shops. Bring a truck. He says Fathead's pretty good. I went to one of their brew pubs in North Canton recently. So yeah, they do some good stuff with Fatheads. It's hard to complain about anything they really do.
I think their big mass marketed bottle shops is, I think it's called Benny's. He probably will know. I think it's called Benny's.
Okay. And then one of the funnier things I saw this week is BrewDog, which there's two things I have on BrewDog here. But the first thing on BrewDog, they launched an ad campaign, and it's pretty hilarious. They did I guess, I don't know if the ads were on billboards or if they're running them on the internet or whatever like that, but they basically ran a campaign against big beers using rate beer scores, which is kind of funny. But then again, if you ask the guys over in the UK, they'll say, well, they're like big beer over there, right? But away from that, what they did is they took the boards and they put like Budweiser and their rate beer score like 0 of 100. And then they did it with Miller, and then they did it, with the other one. I forgot who it was. Might have been Coors. And then they had their beer like rated 97 and 100. So they had all four, but it was all just based off the rate beer score. So I thought that was kind of funny, especially since rate beer is now partly owned by AB InBev. So yeah, that little bit in there as well, which some people may not be familiar with, but they bought a part of minority ownership in the rate beer. So it's just kind of a funny thing as a way to kind of put their tongue out to big beer. And then again, the irony is, if you ask some of the guys from overseas, they are like part of big beer now. So it just got good amount of irony I enjoyed about that whole story.
BrewDog, don't be messing with my Miller Lite.
What were you gonna say, Todd?
I said coincidence? I think not.
Yeah. But the other part of BrewDog, so BrewDog has now opened up the hotel in Columbus. They got the brewery going. They're looking for a second spot now. Guess where it's going to be?
Cincinnati.
Goddamn right.
Nice.
So, like, all the different beers that we got down here, they see Cincinnati as their next operation that they will want to be a part of because of all the beer love that we have in this area. I'm telling you, if you're planning a beercation, Cincinnati is like one of the places you should look at going because we have so much.
I justify that too. It's a good place to go for sure.
It's like a hidden city, just like with all the different beer stuff we have. So it won't be like a beer hotel, but they'll be looking for their second on-site brewery coming to the Cincinnati area. We still got the Platform Tap Room coming here as well, and then all the other stuff that we have going on here. So Cincinnati is really a nice little Midwestern area.
City.
Really enjoy beer. Yeah, you don't run out of beer here in Cincinnati for sure. What's happening? He said, "Hey guys, I'm having a passionate goza from Marble Brewing. Cheers, and cheers to you, Foamy." And Brandon says that BrewDog Hotel sounds interesting. Sounds freaking awesome. And Earth says, "What's up, fellas?" So Earth just got
what's up, Earth?
Have you heard anything on how the opening went for that so far this week?
I had one of my friends that was up there on the grounds, like doing some different stuff that he got a chance to see it. He didn't stay there though. Him and his wife went up, took some really good pictures of everything. But no, I heard it was like just crazy up there. Like people were just really enjoy seeing it and all that kind of stuff. So, but I haven't heard anything about anybody that actually stayed over as far as yet. But I'm sure those stories will come out. There'll be people blogging about it and doing some stuff, talking about their experience and really that. I mean, you're basically sleeping in the brewery, so to speak. But you got your beer showers, you got your beer saunas. You got beer in every room. Every room has their own beer fridge, as a mini fridge. So,
well, it technically didn't open until Monday, though, right?
Right.
So you gotta give it a good solid weekend of people coming and staying the weekend to probably really get some good feedback.
With this being a holiday weekend, I think it's only got like
20 rooms or something like that.
Yeah, it's not a huge amount of rooms because it's part of the brewery. The Stone one is going to be huge. That was going to be like a huge resort one for next year. So, and then I saw in the UK, there's actually one they're putting up over there from another brewery. They're building a hotel resort based around beer. So,
I wonder what the room costs are. Have you seen what the room pricing is?
No, that's the only thing I haven't seen. But I'm thinking, you're going to pay a little bit of a price and a little bit more than what you probably wouldn't expect. I mean, I would think for a room like that with everything included, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like $300-400 a night or something. But you're buying that experience to be able to stay there. So
I wonder what does it include? Like any beer along with the room, or what is it? You just get a room and stay, or do you get like a beer pass or something, or do you know what it actually includes?
That's what I was thinking. You get like a beer fridge in each room. So you have that in each room. You have your own.
Yeah, but is it full beer though?
Yeah, it's like full. They stock it. They do stock it.
Beer fridge, but you didn't say if there's anything in it or not.
If not, you'll walk me down to the brewery in a robe for sure. Like, hey, I'm out of beer up here.
But it's like any other hotel. You get a bottle of water, it costs you like $9 if you actually steal.
I think the way they designed it was kind of like the way you would design like an all-inclusive, like when you go to the all-inclusive places where it's just included into it. So,
okay,
from what I've seen, that's what I've picked up from it, which it should be, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Randy Garrett says less than that. He actually says $182 a night he saw. That's even better than I thought it was going to be.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
No. I went to, when I had to travel to Lexington.
Beers.
When I had to travel to Lexington, I was looking at some of the hotels. I thought I had to go to Louisville first, and some of the Louisville hotels are like around $200 to $300 to stay at night.
Y'all ever use like Priceline for those types of things?
I don't like using Priceline because Priceline you don't really know until the last second, right? Like they give you a price, but they don't usually tell you the hotel and stuff, right? Is that the one that doesn't tell you the hotel until later?
You can do it that way, but you can book it straight through. But if you do it, we just went to Indianapolis this past weekend and stayed the night, my wife and I, and this is like the third time we've done it. So you can pick like the location. So we'll do like downtown Indianapolis, so we can walk around, hit some breweries, whatever, bars, whatnot, and just walk. So if you can pick like a 4-star hotel. So we stayed in this one. It was on a Saturday. Keep in mind there was also a Colts game going on, so I figured the rooms would have been jacked up price. We got a 4-star hotel, the Westin. Oh no, the Omni, for like $130.
Oh, that is cheap.
That's dirt cheap for that place.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was $130. Of course, then you got to pay for your parking and all that, but for your valet if you want to do the valet. But we were like a block and a half from the stadium, so we walked to the stadium, went to the game, walked around. It's. I mean, yeah, I would recommend checking out Priceline for sure and doing the. We've done it, like I said, 3 times, and always choose a 4-star, and I've not paid more than $130-40 for a night at a room right downtown. It's been great, and typically it runs like a $200 and something a room, so you save almost 50% or more.
Yeah, I've used hotels.com before. You get some good deals like that as well. But Brandon said he thought there was a in-room tap, and there is a tap a keg, I think, in your room as well, possibly. I saw a picture where it had like beer vending machine. I thought that was in a room, so maybe that's like in the lobby or something. I don't know, but yeah, I do remember there being a tap in there as well. I don't know if you get a special order.
I wonder if it's one of those deals like the places you go in Germany where you just have the tap at your table, and there's like a number. And, as you pour, it's just calculating the number, and then you just pay on the amount of ounces that you've actually poured out of your tap. I wonder if they do something like that.
No, that'd be kind of interesting to find out. Yeah. I know
it
we've
seems
got.
like it'd be risky on their part just to leave a tap in your room for, no supervision. Like just go to town, no one's gonna have what I want.
Seems like your tap was running all day. We would have checked to see if there was a leak. Nope, it was running all day.
5 gallons of beer.
Only got one glass out of it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Glass,
but that's
like you see on those memes all the time of the wine. Big old huge glass. It fits like 4 bottles of wine.
Yep.
I'm only drinking 1 glass. That's all I'm having.
Yeah, I want to go to one of those places sometime over in I don't know if it's in Germany or UK or wherever, but like basically they keep filling your glass all the time. Like unless you tell them to stop, kind of like the steakhouses, the Brazilian steakhouse where you have to flip it over. They come around and just keep refilling your glass.
I would love to go to Munich. I would love it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, if I go overseas, like I would want to go to Germany. I want to go to Ireland. And I want to go to Amsterdam. I could go to UK too, but like the top 3 would be like Germany, Ireland, and Amsterdam.
Why do we go to Amsterdam for, Rod?
I heard they got good baked goods there.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I just heard they're good bakeries. That's all I heard. So
heard there's a lot of good stuff there.
Which is funny. Dan, that we know, Booze Reviews, he had a thing on Facebook where I guess somebody overdosed on bakery, the marijuana. It was baked into you can't overdose on marijuana. I mean, I think I don't know if he took a long nap or what happened, but I don't think the guy died from it. But apparently, people are going through these baked goods now because they have marijuana up there that they can do in Canada, and apparently, I guess they don't realize it takes a while for it to actually hit you. So they'll eat a piece and nothing is there. They'll eat another one. And it's like an hour later, they're getting zoned, like all the stuff hitting them at one point.
or they're eating it and then all of a sudden they're getting the munchies. So they're going back for the same thing and they just keep going to town.
They're thinking it's not working. And it's like just steadily building up on them. So,
dude, you've been asleep for 24 hours, man.
It's like, oh, know what you're doing. So let's see here. So I saw another thing out there, and the last Blockbuster now has a beer to honor it coming out from 10 Barrel. And for the millennials out there, Blockbuster was this store where we used to have to go to get the movies on videotape. VHS, bring them home, put them in a big slot in the machine that you had hooked to your TV, and you watched it. You had to be kind and rewind when you return it and stuff. The millennials are like, what is a VHS? But anyway, so 10 Barrel's calling it the last Blockbuster. It's a black ale with, they say, nuances of red licorice. So kind of interesting, but there's only one Blockbuster left in the country anywhere. So
all that.
Did they say where it was at?
Yeah, I think in the story I posted it on the Facebook page. I forgot what state it's in. I think it might be like Northeast, like Maine or something. But anybody goes to the Facebook page, or if you pull up the last Blockbuster, you'll see it on Google.
I want to say New Hampshire for some reason, but I don't know. But
then I'm thinking like, wait a minute. Who still has the stuff to even watch the Blockbuster films? Like, who still has VHS in their house, right? I mean, obviously they have some of the stuff that were on DVD, but then it's like, well, who has a DVD player?
I bet you'd be surprised about how many DVD players are still out there.
Yeah. Oh, no, I've got I think 3 in the house that still work. I just never use them or anything, but.
It's funny you say that because we got, for our anniversary, we had our wedding tape is on VHS when we went to Vegas and got married. So I had it transferred to DVD, and I'm like, what good's that do? We don't even hardly have a DVD player either. I just went from one obsolete to something else that's almost obsolete.
You should have put it to MP4.
Right, I know, I should have.
Put on a USB stick now.
We still do have a DVD player hooked up. That was the first time it's been used in like 2 years, probably.
Well, it's like the company I work for. We send out information, and they send it out still on CD. like to put into the computer. And I asked them, like, why do we still do this? Like, nobody has CD players on their computer. Go to our computers here at the office. None of us have CD players. Why do we send that on CD still? Oh, it's cheaper. Well, nobody's going to read the damn thing anyway.
All you got to do is put a small server out there.
Yeah, you're going to have to go to a library and find a damn CD player just so you can read the damn information. No one's going to.
Yeah. Everybody's going, look, they sent us coasters again. Hey.
Yeah. Frisbees.
Nice.
No, I don't think it's a rumor, Brand. I do remember reading about each room having its own tap, so I think that is true there. I don't know why I have to look back at that story on my Facebook page about where I saw the beer vending machine. Maybe it was something they had like in the lobby or something at the hotel, and that was the picture of it. So, and then there was what else? The other thing I saw. Paste. I don't know if you guys ever look at like the Paste magazine or whatever, or Paste online, but they did a ranking of the 25 best milkshake IPAs. That was kind of like a blind tasting. So I'm not going to go through all 25 that they had done. But the ones that made it to the top 10, let me look here. They had the Trophy Brewing Company Language Lessons out of Raleigh. They had the Breckenridge Brewery Ginger Ice Cream Man out of Littleton, Colorado. That was actually number 9. That one sounds kind of interesting. And then locally here, one of our places, Street Side Brewery, they got Bert Got Dumb, and that one was ranked number 8. And Street Side is actually one of the local breweries I have here that I actually went into and did a couple flights of beers and could not find any beer I did not like. Like, they were all like 4 and above. I mean, they do a really nice job. I need to go back and do more of their beers as they're bringing them out. But they really blew me away with some of their stuff.
Where are they located? Are they downtown?
They're just off of downtown, like on our west side.
Okay.
And then we had Second Shift Brewing Little Big Hop. That was number 7. That came out number 7. And then we had Pontoon Brewing. The Floor is Lava was number 6 from Sandy Springs, Georgia. Cinderlands Beer Company, Cosmic C Note, 9%. That's out of Pittsburgh. That's out of Bums area. Bell Brewing, The Bloomist out of Plainville, Connecticut was number 4. Odell Brewing, Cloudcatcher out of Fort Collins was number 3. And then number 2, my computer scrolls.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, number 2 was number 2 was Funky Buddha Brewery Tart Shake out of Oakland Park, Florida. And the number 1 that came up was Wildworks Brewing Pina Colada Milkshake out of Greeley, Colorado. So those were like the top 10 that were blind tasted from the people that had tried stuff. Todd, you actually have a Shorts beer there, but one that was in the top 25 was the Shorts Brewing, the Ooze, and that's up near where Eric is, up there in Michigan. So if you happen to see it, nice one to pick up there.
Eric, you don't like Shorts, right?
Well, it's not that I don't like Shorts. It's they don't put the ABV on the anywhere on the label. I mean, you'll see it on the 6-pack if you buy a 6-pack, but try to look at it on the label, it's not there.
Do you give them
most people are going to buy a single. They're not going to buy a 6-pack or a 4-pack.
Do you give them a Greg's that chaps my ass?
That chaps my ass.
This is actually a sour. Sour series. So
I got in a big debate about it for one of the, I guess was talking to one of the brewmasters or something like that. I'm like, look, man, your competition's doing it. They're putting the ABV on the label somewhere, and you guys aren't.
Yeah, it makes no sense to not put it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't see how that it's not like a law or something. It seems like that should be the most important thing, for what you know and what you're drinking. Not saying you should, drinking and driving, but it should be something that should be on there for.
Well, and I mean, a lot of people
alcohol poisoning or whatever,
People try to measure out so they're not drinking maybe heavy at some point, so they want to bring it down. You like to know what the ABV is, or you may want to take it up. You might want to take it up a notch too. So
that's the only reason why I don't. I'm not. I guess it's my own little boycott against them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get a 6-pack, it'll be on a 6-pack. You buy a single, not on it.
Yeah,
Well,
you're right. Not on this one.
You've seen in some of my videos where I don't, I've come across with some of the breweries not having ABVs as well. I don't see how you can't do it. I can't. All the stuff you put on a label, like ABV, is like one of the top ones to put anything out there. You got to put in
the number one thing to have on it.
Government says put in your journal warning. You got to put that on. Next thing, put on the ABV. I don't care about a long paragraph story about the beer that you created. Just put on the ABV.
Yeah, that should be I'm surprised the ATF hasn't mandated it.
IBU is not as big of a deal because if you know the styles, you kind of know what it might be bitter or not bitter. But ABV definitely is definitely important there.
Yeah.
Well, even that though, you can get high IBU beer if they got enough malts or something. It offsets it, so it's not really that hoppy.
Right.
I mean, like it doesn't really mean any. Like Joe always says, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really mean anything, really. I mean,
you look at like Lake Erie Monster or Chill Wave. Yeah, they have high IBU, but it brings it down with the malts and stuff they use.
Yeah. But the ABV, I think, should definitely be on every beer.
And all the time they go, oh, well, you got to do all this science, and I'm like, you have to just get it in somewhat in the ballpark. You don't have to be exact.
Yeah, exactly.
Because your different batches are going to be different ABVs.
Well, it's a simple thing you actually do when you measure it out. You pull a sample, you can easily measure out what the ABV is going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, funny, 6,500 breweries or however many numbers. I think I saw 8,000 now, but like 95% of them can do it with no problem.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only reason why it's my own little personal boycott against them. Until they put them on the labels, they're not going to get drank by me.
Well, it's kind of part of the formula to know when your beer is done fermenting. I mean, you got to know the gravity readings, which also gives you your ABV. So I don't understand why it's so difficult.
It's a hard formula to know. I mean,
I like it if they put it on the packaging, or if they put it on the 6-pack, just put it on the label. Oh, we got to do all the labels. I'm like, no, that's not my problem.
It should be a range that they're trying to hit anyway, so it should fall within percentage points anyhow. So
right, most people are gonna, like all of us here. Some of us, if we really like the beer, will buy a 4 or 6-pack of it. But most of the time, we're just gonna be grabbing singles. We're not gonna be grabbing a 6-pack. And a lot of people that go out that I see out in at least here, I don't know about where you guys are at, but a lot of people I see out at bottle shops and all that, they're picking up singles too. They're not picking up 6-packs or 4-packs. They're trying beers to try to see what they like. Then they might go back and get a 6-pack or a 4-pack. But if you're not going to tell me what the EBV is, then I'm just going to set you right back on the shelf. I mean, that's just that simple.
Yeah, and date. I mean,
yeah, and date too. Yes, which I learned my lesson about the 6-year-old IPA.
Like, that doesn't look right, Eric.
Yeah. On that note, I'm going to go get me another brewski.
All right. And then James has said he hadn't seen a CD-ROM drive in 8 years. Yeah, it's definitely been a while. And then Brandon said you can show your Blockbuster membership card instead of your ID to buy beer. If you got a Blockbuster card, you probably could. And like, dude, I'm holding a Blockbuster card right here.
No doubt. I used to still have. I wish I still had mine.
Are you gonna do, like, frame it on the wall or something?
I don't know, just for one of those things. Like, you can show everybody, like, what the hell is that? Capsule? Yeah, what is that?
Which in our building, which I didn't even realize, someone asked me about it yesterday. Like, what do you think is in a time capsule? I'm like, what do you mean? And on our wall, apparently back in 1988, they put a time capsule in the building to open up in 2028. I was like, I wonder what is in there. I don't know, maybe like a Rubik's Cube or
Imperial Stout of some sort, maybe. Who knows?
Some type of Mario Brothers thing. I'm trying to think of stuff back. Yeah, so like from 1988, what would you put into it from 1988?
AC/DC tape or Pink Floyd.
Yeah. That could definitely. Oh, all right. A little Oberon. No, that's what is that?
Barrel
Runner. There you go, Barrel Runner.
Hey, I picked up their new one today too, Eric, that you tried the other day.
Yeah, I try. I didn't think it needed the bourbon barrel, Todd, but I mean it was good. I'm not busting their balls on it, but I mean I didn't think it needed the bourbon barrel aging.
So if you were making a time capsule today for something in the future and say it could hold freshness, like what beer would you put into the time capsule?
Ooh.
Probably high ABV stout or a porter.
Well, if you get a whole freshness, you could put anything in there. So don't even put in the equation worrying about it going. Like, what would you put in?
Light.
No.
Just to see if it changes from today and 50 years from now.
I got a 10-year-old Miller Lite here. We're gonna see what it does.
That's a good question. I don't know. What would I put in?
I mean, I was thinking like, maybe I put in there like because you would want something like be like an iconic type beer, I guess. So maybe you put in like a Pliny, maybe you put in like a Zombie Dust, you put in maybe like a Bourbon County Stout or something.
Yeah, so you said it holds its freshness. You could put any IPA. It doesn't matter what it would.
Yeah.
Anything you'd want, then, right? Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good question.
That is a good question.
Definitely, I think it would have to be an IPA just to see if it held its freshness.
Well, you're trying to you don't have to worry about freshness. I don't you tell you don't have to worry about freshness. It would be just basically it'd be like just
100% guaranteed. It'd be like the day you stuck it in there.
Stick a Colt 45 in there.
From 2018, they were still drinking Colt 45. You make the monk guys happy with that one.
You gotta crack it open. Billy D hands it to you.
Yeah.
No shit.
What are you doing in there, Billy?
I'm trying to think what other kind of beers there actually would put in there.
If it held it freshness though, would there be any advantages to putting an IPA, or just to see how in comparison to that beer that day?
No, you're stuck on the freshness. There's no freshness. You don't have to worry about freshness. But you like a beer that would represent like 2018 now, that you would open up like 20 years from now.
So it'd have to be like a New England style IPA then, probably, because.
Yeah, you could put one of those in.
You think they'd be around in 20 years? I'm sure they will be of some sort, but not like they are now, probably.
Like
the Stone Mocha.
The Mocha IPA?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Probably like that.
We got one of the other half, like that double dry hop Citra Daydream or whatever.
Oh, God, that was so good. Well, I'll just leave it there. Don't spit your beer out, Rod.
I mean, some people might put in a KBS.
Yeah.
That might be something there.
Any of the Trillium beers or Treehouse?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's a good question. That's a real good question.
Zombie Dust would be a good one.
Yeah. I would think you'd probably put in like something like the Treehouse, like Julius or something, just because of the stature of it.
What about the #1 beer in America, which is some stout?
Number 1 beer in America being sold, or
no? That's I guess the best tasting based on. I don't know. I think it was on Beer Advocate or something.
You remember which one it was?
It was some stout, some bourbon barrel aged stout.
Because I know, I mean, like best selling. I mean, somebody could say Bud Light and be like, "Well, Bud Light was the best selling beer right now," so you could put it in there. It's not only about the taste; it's more, like I said, more like the iconic stature of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
But you can really put any macro lager into there, though.
Yeah, but would that like sum up like 20, like, a beer of the times, really? Like if somebody opened it up and it was like, I don't know, Genesee, they might not know what Genesee really is, as opposed to like a Miller High Life or a Bud Light or a Bud or something like that.
True. True.
Yeah.
Would it need to be a beer that you think wouldn't be around in 20 years, or just a beer that you might want to try from like 2018, compare it to a beer in 2038 or whatever?
No, I mean, I think it would just be something of interest that was kind of like, when you think of time capsules, they're usually things that people put in there that might symbolize that time or something when people look back on stuff. Like if you were doing, like I said, like if you're doing like the 88, whatever they put in it, it might have been something
Right,
like
popular.
might have been a Rubik's Cube in there because that was like big back then, or it might have been
Cassette tape.
a Sega Genesis might be in there or something. Oh, find a Sega Genesis? What?
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
Yes, I'd almost have to say it would should or probably should be a New England style IPA.
Yeah. Well, there's no wrong in it. I mean, it's just there's so many different styles that are out there that kind of capture things. So you could have different things, different.
Right.
ones.
No, I agree. But just as of today, kind of what's the hot thing of today? That seems to be the popular. Excuse me, the popular style. Going right now.
You could put a pumpkin in there for about this time of year.
Yeah, I mean, you could put it in there for like any type of pumpkin, because I'm in a pumpkin beers for sure.
Yeah.
Like, because again, it's just showing what people are enjoying. Like James commented, like craft brew, or like he said something like Two Hearted.
That's pretty iconic, yeah.
Well, he said some organizations like the Craft Brewers or a group of beer critics. He doesn't know, said Two Hearted was the best beer in America for the second year in a row. And those type of things are always based on what your universe is. So you say it's the best one, but then there's as many breweries as they are, and these breweries putting out, say, at least 5 beers, no one's tasted all the beers to say what is really the best. That's just the best that's come across that you've had, right? Like, it's just like science. Science works until something else changes the parameters, and you got to redefine it again. So,
right.
And Two Hearted is probably the more readily available beer across the country that everybody can get, probably for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I'll say about Two Hearted, because it used to be Pliny that was getting picked. Most people couldn't get Pliny, so to say it was like the best one out there, it may be, but nobody would really know if they can't get their hands on it. Two Hearted gave it more of a broad scale across things, or more people did get to try it,
I think the Two Hearted is all across the United States. I think everyone can get it. Or pretty much everyone can get it.
Yeah.
Because it's going all the way out to Washington from Tyler when he moved out there.
Yeah. Which kind of goes back to what we've said on the show before, those top 20 any ratings of any kind, you get those beers that maybe only California can get, or beers that only East Coast can get, they're just not really accurate because they're not available to everybody. So
yeah.
How do you really say is the top 20 beers or 20 IPAs or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's how much money do they want to put into, to get their name out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slip somebody $100 or something. Say, hey, say we're the greatest beer, around. I know that happens too, I'm sure, as an advertising campaign type thing.
And then James said, it's hype like Julius, which I agree. Because, I mean, I don't know what you guys thought when you tried Julius. I thought Julius was good, but it didn't really live up to the hype for me that as high as people were putting it out there. And then I've had other people tell me like King Julius is that much better. So I think it was solid. I think it was a great thing. It was one of the earlier New England IPAs that were out there, but I think I gave like a 4.25 out of 5. It was a good solid score on it, but it wasn't as hype like a lot of people were making it to, for me at least.
I thought it was a tick better than the M43 or the Boss Tweed.
See, I like Boss Tweed. I like Boss Tweed more than Julius.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I like Julius probably a little bit more than I like M43. I put it in between those two. But then again, I like that damn Full Earth or Greenstone? Full Earth. That was pretty damn good as well.
Yeah, it was. I can still get that too, the Full Earth. There's still some trickling around.
Yeah. But I think it's kind of like sometimes when you're first out there, I mean, you have that hype and stuff around. It's like I know people that don't think Zombie Dust is all that great now as well, because they've been out there so long, and when you first come along, the hype and all that stuff, but it's still a great tasting pale ale. And again, it's like one of those pale ales designed to actually be that classic type style, so it's no really, I would say, gimmicks or anything with it and how they actually brew that one versus other breweries. And some people might be looking more for that gimmick type feel or whatever, and it's not going to appeal to them as much, but it's still solid. Like Newcastle, because of them, we have a brown ale market. When you go back and you have a Newcastle brown ale, it just feels like different than the brown ales we're used to now. But it's nothing against them. I mean, they were the ones that got it started over here, and it's still a classic style to it. So,
well, the technology, the brewing process, all that stuff comes into play too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you took the thought right out of my head and mouth on that one with Zombie Dust with Julius. I think Julius was really good, but I think it kind of, there's a lot of New England style IPAs out there that may have, surpassed it, or, when it first came out, it was kind of one of the pioneers of it. So everybody was like, "Oh, this is fantastic," and it still is a great beer. I really enjoyed that one. I thought it was pretty good. Same with Zombie Dust. It's not so sought after anymore, but people that can't get it still hold it to the high regards. But there's so many other beers that's come out in that same style category that's probably superior to that one.
Right.
Unfortunately, the time moves on and things get better as they go along.
Yeah. Brandon says he feels bad about buying Oktoberfest beers already. And actually, for that, I would say don't feel bad, Brandon, because really Oktoberfest, we have September starting this weekend, so the festivals will be kicking off here in the next few weeks. I think you're good there. It's the pumpkin that really gets to me a little bit more. But I got a couple Oktoberfest beers I actually picked up as well because I haven't tried yet either. So
should feel bad just for buying the style, not for when you're buying it, that you're actually just buying it.
Just make sure you're buying this year's version. All I can say, that's the only thing.
Some of them are okay. It's not my favorite style though.
And that's the other thing, like Oktoberfest. So we're actually having 3 different festivals over the next 5 weeks for Oktoberfest. So Cincinnati has one of the biggest Oktoberfests. It used to be the second biggest outside of Munich. We have that festival. Then we have a couple, one in Covington, which is Northern Kentucky. We have another one in another part of Cincinnati, over the next 5 weeks. So it's going to get pretty crazy here with beer. And this is so Beer Fest kicks off the week before we start doing the Oktoberfest stuff.
So is that Oktoberfest isn't the second biggest anymore?
I don't know if it is for sure or not. I know it's still pretty huge, but I know at one point it was clearly the second biggest. But I've heard some other cities around the country are doing stuff too. Yeah. So Cincinnati had a big German population and everything, so that kept Oktoberfest lively here for sure. Yeah. But we have the wiener dog races, and they have the
chugging contest, don't they?
Yeah, the beer carrying contest and all that kind of stuff, and it's a good time and stuff. The only thing that our office overlooks where they do it at, which kind of sucks sometimes because you'd rather be down there drinking the beer. So if you don't have that day off, you can't really go partake in a lot of the activities, but they get after it some.
Eric, did you pick you up a pumpkin?
It's all over the place here, Todd.
I mean, did you get one? No, I know you was asking about it the other day, but did you actually pick one up yet?
No, I'm going to get the Warlock this weekend.
Or the Warlock. It was the Warlock that you was asking about, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to get the Warlock.
Yeah, I like the.
Get one of each and mix them together.
Oh, about 6 ounces. 6 ounces.
Yeah.
Or do a side by side review.
Well, that leaves you enough to do that too. But then when you're done with them, leave you enough to mix them together. It's really good. And actually, I think if you put on Untapped, you get a badge for it too.
Mixing beers.
Yeah, for mixing those two particular ones.
Maybe I'll mix this barrel runner with a KBS.
Hey, there you go.
Let's see. Welcome, Gabriel. He said he bought the Budweiser Copper Lager Collection Reserve 6-pack today. So I haven't bought that yet. I want to buy it just as a single. And the only place I saw that was a 12-pack. So I'm not going to buy a 12-pack of it. But if I get a single of it, I'll do that so I can do a review of it. I'm kind of interested to see how it tastes with the Jim Beam stuff. So Brandon said he did as well. first Budweiser in this house, is what Brandon says. So it made it through Brandon's threshold. He said he only got it for the Jim Beam.
What did Gabriel think? Gabriel, what did you think? You said Gabriel, right, Rod?
Yeah, Gabriel got it and Brandon got it, but I don't know if either of them had it yet. So have you guys tried it yet? Have you guys done the new Budweiser?
I haven't seen it up here yet.
Yeah, we got it here. I mean, we got it in 12s. We might have it in 6s, and they may have sold out, and I haven't seen it yet. But
yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I know that I can still get some of the Freedom Reserve still.
Okay.
Or no, the what is it? The Prohibition?
Prohibition, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get the Prohibition. I get the Freedom Reserve, and now this one, but I haven't seen this one yet.
Is that with Jim Beam or was that Jack Daniels?
Jim Beam.
Jim Beam. Yeah, I haven't seen that one either. Of course, I really haven't looked for it, but I haven't seen it.
Which we actually have a Jim Beam distillery here as well.
But the big one's in Lynchburg, right?
Yeah.
Or is that Jack Daniels?
That's Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels is Lynchburg, yeah. But we have one of the Jim Beam, because Jim Beam doing bourbon, that's Kentucky, but they have a distillery here in Cincinnati that they do it. And every time you drive past it, it's just like pure sweetness that you smell pretty much from all the alcohol and stuff.
Rod, that's something we ought to do too. We ought to meet up and do the bourbon trail.
Yeah.
Go hit some
that would be something for sure.
Yeah.
I've not done any of those.
Yeah, I got to go to Grand Rapids. When is it? The weekend of the 10th. I got for a conference. I'm going to hit Founders, and I'm going to try to go to Paren. I'm going to try to go to Hideout and a couple other ones in Grand Rapids.
Nice.
But I've been to Founders before. That's really nice. Really, really nice.
I bet. But it's pretty good. They got like a restaurant and stuff there too, or
yeah, they got this humongous freaking pretzel that you can get. It's big. It's really big. It's good too.
Yeah. Do you usually get the pretzels and stuff? Do you go to?
Yeah, last time I was there, I got the pretzel, and I had their honey wheat. I think they had on tap, and they had their CBS and KBS, but I didn't get that.
Did they have a lot of stuff on tap at the brew house that you can't get in stores that they don't distribute? Or
the only one I seen, they had a honey wheat.
Okay. I was just curious, as with some of the bigger name breweries, if they have a lot of stuff that that they don't bottle, just kind of a trial thing or something. If they, a lot of them will do the trial basis on tap, and then if it's a hit, then they'll try to mass produce it. But
yeah. I haven't. The only one I hadn't seen was the honey wheat, and I didn't see that out in stores anywhere. I want to get over to the one in Detroit to see how that one is. And when I was downtown there a couple weeks ago for a Tigers game, actually it was over the 4th of July weekend. We were only like 5 blocks away, but I wasn't able to make it.
Yeah. Brandon said he did try one, so I'll be curious to see what Brandon thought about it as well. On the beer.
Oh, the Budweiser and Jim Beam collaboration?
Yeah. So, Brandon, if you would have let us know what you thought of that one, that'd be cool.
So is that actually supposed to be a barrel-aged beer? Is that what it is? Like in a Jim Beam barrel or something?
I forgot what they said. I was fermented like on
I thought they put the staves in there to make it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Right in the vats, the Budweiser vat.
Okay, gotcha. So not necessarily aged in it. They just mix it in with the
kind of like
whatnot. Yeah, gotcha. Well, that's kind of like the home brewer's way of doing it.
Kind of like I said when Rod was doing his interview back a year and a half ago, whenever that was. I still think to this day, like Bud, Miller, and Coors, they could have a craft division or whatever they want to call it, and they can make stouts, ambers, reds, porters, IPAs. I think they could do that because they obviously they have the resources to do it and the money to do it. It's just that they want to make these type of beers that are light tasting and maybe not a whole lot of flavor. But I mean, I guess that's kind of what they're used to, I guess. So that's why they make them that way. But I really do think if they had their own division of that, They might be able to put out some good stuff, but like I said, they have the resources and they have the knowledge to do it. It's just that they just don't want to.
Well, that's why they're buying up all these other breweries. Let them do it.
Yeah.
Put their resources in what they do good, or what they've been doing for years and years and years.
Yeah, for what, 100 years or so?
Yeah. And probably also too, you're not going to get your standard Bud drinker or Bud Light drinker that's going to buy these stouts. So probably, why not buy the breweries that are successful and just put the money into them and let them do what do what they do.
Well, there was one piece that we did on. They did try them in the past, and it just pretty much failed when they tried to put them out in the market. So
yeah, that's what I mean. Like your normal Bud drinker is probably not going to see a Budweiser stout and go, "Oh, I'm going to get that one." I just don't think that.
Yeah,
that's where if you buy a Lagunitas or somebody that market of people are already buying that beer anyway. So
yeah,
now the money.
I personally like their Busch Copper Lager that they made.
You did like it?
Yeah.
But they don't make that anymore, right?
No, they pulled that.
I had that a few years ago. That actually was. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't bad. So
yeah, it wasn't anything mind blowing, but
I was actually surprised when I picked it up. When I was going to a softball game and I picked it up, and when I was drinking, I was like, "Oh, this isn't really that bad."
Yeah, I just don't like Todd said. Your normal Busch drinker is not going to pick up a Copper Lager. They're going to pick up Busch or Busch Light.
Yeah,
they ain't going to pick up the Copper Lager.
Then James has said Off Color Brewing in Chicago is doing an in-can beer based on ancient Inca recipe. He hasn't tried it yet, but it's corn-based, no hops, etc. So that'd be kind of interesting. Which when they used to first make ales, they didn't use hops for those either. People always thinking like Groot, but the first beers called ales also had no hops. It was essentially like an updated version of Groot, but Gabriel says it has a Jim Beam, bit of taste of it, a copper caramel color, and a smooth Budweiser taste. Vanilla, small hints of it.
Yeah, hops was originally introduced as just a preservative anyway.
Yeah.
I heard a couple. Go ahead, Rod.
No, I was gonna say really with the whole making of beer, hops was like that last thing added as that preservative. You really didn't need that to have the beer. But then it was able really for the aging and the traveling and the moving it around and everything that the hops got introduced. Now we're just so accustomed to it.
And now they're using it as a flavoring mechanism more than anything, really.
Yeah, they are.
And then
with the different malts and barleys.
And then Eric Gilbert says, really isn't that good either. I don't know what he's talking about, the or something else, but
yeah, you talking about the Copper Lager or are you talking about the Jim Beam?
You gotta be clarified, Eric. What isn't that good though, right? So
the Budweiser Stout? I don't know what it is.
Brandon says it's aged on the barrel staves. It has a little caramel flavor, very sweet and malty, but not water. So got a little more body to it, so that's a good thing. Red in color, according to James. And then Brandon said, I drink a fair amount of whiskey, and this doesn't taste like whiskey. I do appreciate it being 6.2 ABV. So there's your ABV as well.
Up in the malt liquor category.
Yeah. So yeah, Bud and Beam, B&B. He said the Bud and Beam doesn't taste really good. Is what he meant. Yeah,
I can never stomach Jim Beam.
Yeah, you never saw you like Jim Beam fan?
No. Mm-mm. Well, I'm more of a Crown Royal fan than I am a Jim Beam.
Oh, Crown Royal, yeah, had some days with those, yeah. I used to bartend. We used to do shots in the bar till we were done, and Crown Royal was one of the smoother shots that we did a lot of times.
I'm gonna try their blended whiskey.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
It's like what, $70 or something for like a fifth or something.
Yeah,
I heard that's really, really good.
Well, at some point I need to crack open the Jameson Cask makes for the stout, so I can do a review on that. So I may do that this weekend at some point since it's a holiday weekend.
But didn't you say like the IPA one was more Jameson whiskey more than anything else?
It was more like, yeah, you didn't really get the IPA quality out of the IPA version, but people are telling me the stout version they felt was a lot better, and you do get that quality. And it's like so funny because the IPA version, one they tell you to put it on ice, which it does water it down and everything like that. But even when I drank it straight and neat, you still didn't really get the IPA quality out of it that much. But I like Jameson, so for me, it's just like a Jameson whiskey. It's not really anything jumping out from it. So,
I wonder if you had it on the rocks, if it would be better to kind of cool it down.
No, I mean that's what I had before when it was on ice.
Oh.
So it was kind of like it takes away from it because the ice is down a little bit. But they recommend on ice or to have it with an IPA. So I had it with an IPA, I had it on ice, and I had it neat with no ice, and none of them really brought the IPA stuff through for me. But
all right.
but I like I said, but I like Jameson, so I just drank it like Jameson. The Gabriel says the copper lager need to be okay. The copper lager doesn't need to be 6.2. It should be 5.4, like the Freedom Reserve. So he doesn't like the kick up of the alcohol. But if you put bourbon in, I mean, it's going to affect the alcohol too. So
well, yeah, the staves might kick it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were barrel staves.
I would expect a beer like that to have like the bourbon in to be at least a 6% ABV myself. Yeah. Just from that being added there. I mean, you'd have to really thin it out if you're trying to get into the 5 levels.
Yeah.
And you'd be like a session bourbon beer.
Don't be surprised if somebody tries that, makes like a 5% with bourbon.
Right.
Which I think that one of my first beer reviews was Labatt's, and they had a little Prohibition ale that had bourbon and it was a lager. I was like, oh my God. I just poured that directly down the drain.
Did they even make the Bud Platinum anymore? That was 6%, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can still get Bud Platinum.
So they still have it out in the marketplace. I don't think I've seen that anywhere.
That's not bad, but it has more maltiness, so that's why I probably like it.
And what was the other one they had? The one that was like the Black Label.
The Black Crown?
Yeah, is that still out there too?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
And then there's the Bud Select, which is also a black can.
Oh, is that a black can now? I remember Bud Select wasn't a black can before.
Yeah. Bud Select 55 is kind of like in a whitish silver can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I used to drink Bud Ice back in the day.
I'm telling you, man, if they had Bud Ice in cans, I would buy that over Miller Lite.
We can get Bud Ice in cans here.
I can only get it in bottles. I have not seen it in cans. I've seen it in cans, just not here.
And then Gabriel says the 6.2 is good, not bad. There is no alcohol in the taste. Well, that's a good thing. Just smooth. Just keep drinking it until you realize, oh, I've drank a few of those. You
usually don't get alcohol until about you creep up to the 7% level, and that's when to me, you're going to start getting the.
Yeah, depending on, as long as it's not like something thinned out, you shouldn't get it at that lower level. I mean, it should be pretty much hidden in the taste.
Right.
He said Bud Light Platinum is all over Arizona, so he can get it there. And Eric said, you see the crowns we got in Ontario, we get in Ontario, they make all the basics seem very basic. I guess he's getting some different, because the Budweiser does have different stuff in Canada than they do have here. So
I would like to try their non-Budweiser, what was it, Prohibition, their non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
I would like to try that, but like Albino Rhinos had it, and a couple other Canadians had it because it's a Canadian made, or only sold in the Canadian provinces up there. So it's not sold in the States.
Probably where all their good stuff goes.
I'm waiting to see one of the Canadian guys do the weed beer up there. I know one of them will do it at some point, probably.
Well, if you ask Redbeard to do it, he'd do it.
Oh, he probably will. Yeah. Well, I figure he will, or Albino will, or some of the other guys are there. I don't know how it's all being regulated. So, like, do you do it? Like, do you get penalized if you do a P test or anything? I don't know.
Did you say a P test?
Piss test? Yeah.
Yeah, is that what you said? Okay.
I would like to see some of the bigger beers like CBS, like for Founders. I would like to see it in the 12-ounce bottles instead of the bombers.
I agree.
I think it'll sell better that way.
Like, which ones are you thinking of?
Like CBS, Founder CBS.
Okay. Like they get it. Oh, they get that in Canada. We don't get it here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see. I picked up the Bitches Brew from Dogfish Head today. Their first time in 12-ounce bottles this year.
Yeah. I think it's a smart plan.
Yeah.
I think some people feel overpowered with the 22. Like, like you want to have somebody there just bottle share or something before you want to buy that or something.
Well, you crack it. You're either stuck drinking that one for the whole night or a bottle share. I mean,
yeah.
Can't really just store it.
I usually have no problem working through the 22, but that's just me.
me either.
But believe me, Rod, I had a 22 of this, buddy. Yeah. I was feeling good.
But some of the stouts you're like, okay, or maybe you crack it open the first time you had it, and it's like that's decent. I really want to work through the rest of the 14 ounces. I'm like, yeah, I bought it. It's open. Why not? But do you really want to sometimes?
Yeah. And Gabriel says he thinks the Black Crown is discontinued. And he said, good chat. He likes it and says cheers. And then Brandon said good night also. Brandon's going to be turning in here. So,
cheers.
All right, buddy. Cheers, buddy. Have a good night.
Have a good night, Brandon. Forget what I was going to say there. So, I'm trying to think if I have. I know I do have some 22s in the basement. I've got like some 25s as well. I still got that. Well, I got one bottle left of the Golden Drock that I took you to, Todd, where we bought the Golden Drock bottle. I still got a bottle of that left in there, which I got to do a review on that bottle. That'll be a 25-ounce bottle I have to open up.
Yeah, I still got that one down in the basement. I need to crack that one open too.
Yeah. But
Eric, I actually got a Rod J deal.
He saw it was real.
Well, go ahead.
Was it like $4.99 or something, Ryder, or $5.99 or something?
Todd, I got a 6-pack of 19.2 ounce all day IPAs for $11.99.
6-pack. How many ounces?
19.2.
I didn't know they put them in cans that big.
Yeah, that's what I got downstairs. Is a 19.2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. $11.99. You go. I asked the guy. I'm like, well, what do you get? What do you give for like a 4 or 6-pack? You go. I'll give you a 6-pack for $11.99. I'm like, that's good.
No, I don't think so. Well, we can.
I'm like, bring it up there, champ.
Eric's like sold.
We can get the 15-pack 12-ounce cans for like $14.99 or $15.99. Sometimes you can catch them on sale for $13.99.
Yeah.
I like their Mosaic Promise. That's really good.
Yeah.
Mosaic Promise is pretty decent.
But I like to keep the all day around the house for just your,
Yeah.
You don't want to drink them.
Cutting the grass or doing some stuff in the garage or whatever you're doing,
Yeah, or cook out. You got people over and they'll be drinking all day.
It's good grilling beer. If you're grilling stuff, you can use
that.
I wonder how an IPA would be, or a stout or something like that, of having a chicken on top of it. Because you can use kind of one of these to put a chicken on top and you set it out.
Yeah, beer can chicken.
Yeah.
I
never tried it with an IPA or a stout or a amber or anything like that.
As long as you get the steam out of it, that's all it's doing anyway.
Yeah.
You might get a little of the flavor of the beer though in the steam, so that might actually be pretty good.
I can tell you, like in chili, it makes it different. Like I've made chili and I've used Labatt's because I'll use that one in there because I like with the sweetness it adds to it. But when I put in the Golden Road, forgot what stout I had from them, it made a big difference. Like as far as how good it tastes. The gingerbread stout, all that chili was the bomb that day.
Huh.
So sometimes
I never thought about doing that in my chili. I might have to try that.
Yeah.
Put a little Founder's Porter in there to dump it in.
Yeah. Yeah, you see like some of these, like, I'll watch some of these shows on Food Network and stuff sometimes, like some like cooking type things, and they got some like the like Anthony Bourdain had done, but then they have one like beer brews and burgers and stuff like that, and some of the stuff how they cook with some of the beers. So you get some of the ideas off of that. Like some of these guys will marinate it like 24 hours, but it'll be like a beer-based type marinade or something they'll have in there too, and imparts different things into the food. So definitely is kind of interesting. James said Hams is doing a major promotion here. Got a 6 or 16-ounce cans for $2.99.
Wow.
And Hams is decent beer.
Yeah, it is. It's for a cheap alternative to Miller Lite. That's damn good.
Yeah.
What was the quantity in the ounces for $2.99?
6 or 16-ounce cans for $2.99.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Ham's actually, that's one of those that's,
I had that on draft before, and I was like, man, this is actually pretty decent.
Not bad.
Oh, you've had Hams before, Ryan?
Yeah, I've had it before. We get that like here as well.
Especially for the price.
Yeah. And then, not to be outdone, Gabriel says, in my store, they have a Shock Top 15-pack cans for $6.99 on sale, and 12 bottles, $6.99 until September 4th.
I like to get the 12-pack.
Yeah. I'm not a huge Shock Top because
me either.
But that's a pretty good deal on the surface. Like I know Backwoods Billy is a big Shock Top fan. I bet he'd be all over that deal.
Yeah. My buddy says, he goes, man, I cannot drink that Shock Top. He goes, there's just something about it that just puts me off.
Yeah. Well, I told you last time I did a shandy, I did it at a bar, and I just wanted the glass, and they gave me a line of cool glass. I had them drain poured, like after I just couldn't get it down. Like I did a quarter glass. I just pour it down, just rinse the glass for me.
They only really wants a glass.
Yeah. Like for me to actually drain pour something, I mean, it takes a lot for me to do that. Because I mean that's beer and that's down the drain. But couldn't do it.
Not gonna do it.
No, sir.
Not gonna do it.
Yeah. Cue the old Dana Carvey.
Not gonna do it.
It wouldn't be prudent.
Hey, do you guys get any of these Melvin beers?
I've only got them through collabs, but I heard how good Melvin usually is.
Pretty good. It just hit our market within the last week. But Roger, they'll like the can on this. Throwing up the little West Coast gangster sign.
West Side.
Was that is it called your IPA?
Yeah, your IPA. And the funny thing is, they're in Wyoming. So what do they know about the West Coast?
Well, that's a W in Wyoming, I guess. I guess it's a Wyoming W.
Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Let's see. Alpine.
Okay.
I think when they did a collab down here, I think it was with Rheingeist they did a collab, I believe. I remember seeing their name on one of the cans, but it was decent.
I picked up 2 of them today. This one and the I forgot what the other one was now. I have to look.
And then Gabriel says Blue Moon is better than Shock Top, which it is.
Yeah, I would agree.
But then you're comparing, like, pretty much a wit beer versus a shandy. So you're in a different style, but yeah, it's definitely better. Like if I'm in a bar between those two on tap, then I'm definitely getting a Blue Moon.
Yeah, but the weird thing is those two always get compared to each other, though.
But they shouldn't, though.
Right? No, I know, I agree. Because of the different style, but they always get compared like they're the same type beer, but they're not.
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say they shouldn't, but I guess Shock Top may have like a whip beer on one of their beers, but they're mostly shandies. But that's where people probably do compare them with the whip beer they have there. Although I did hear, and I've never tried it, but I've had people that have liked it, the Shock Top Twisted Pretzel, people seem to like.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I've never done that one. That's not really more of a shandy, but people have liked that one. And then it's like Leinenkugel. Like I don't like their shandies, but I do like some of their other non-shandies like Canoe Paddler or Big Ike or their original Liney Red type stuff. So I'll drink those. I just don't like the shandy versions they do.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah.
For what they are and what you can get them for, price-wise.
Price-wise, he give you a good price point for sure.
Yeah.
For the shock tops.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of shock top, so I usually don't reach for them.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Eric. I don't either. I don't see orange in it or what it is, but the spice. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it either.
Yeah, it's something about it that just, I don't want to say it's off-putting, but it just maybe doesn't taste right or something, or I don't know what it is. Does Shiner make it, the shock top?
No, that's Miller, I believe.
Oh, Miller does? Okay.
Or Coors, I believe, makes that one. Yeah, they're part of one of that macro.
For some reason, I was thinking Shiner made the shock top.
Yeah. Shiner actually does some decent beers on some of their stuff, though.
I had the strawberry blonde. That was not good.
I haven't had that one, though. But
don't pick it up. Don't pick it up.
You have to see Eric's review for that one.
I think I gave it a 70 or something like that.
Yeah.
Probably should have given it a D.
Not B plus material.
No. Not B plus material.
Yeah, I think it was I've had Shiner Bach, and that actually wasn't bad.
I had the Shiner with the Ram IPA or whatever.
Wicked Ram IPA. I thought that one was decent. I did a review on that like a couple years ago. You didn't like it, or you did like it?
It was all right. It was all right.
I mean, it wasn't like it didn't really like knock you over, but I thought it was decent enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
But oh, cool. Well, I guess we've been going for a little bit here tonight. I think
we missed Joe, man. We missed Joe.
Yeah, Joe's the missing in action here. You know, get better, Joe. Joe's down a little bit there, not feeling as well. So we'll hope he gets better and everything like that. And then Eric, you got anything upcoming on your channel?
Yeah, I got a couple of beer reviews coming up. I got the Detroit Lions, the first half preseason already up there. I'm gonna start doing as football season comes around, I'm gonna start doing Michigan sports like Michigan and Michigan State football. I'm not gonna be able to get to the Michigan State game tomorrow night. I got something going on. I'm not gonna be able to do that, but you'll see that coming on the channel. You're gonna see Detroit Lions stuff. You're gonna see I'm gonna start doing some Pistons and Red Wing stuff. If you guys any of you guys follow my channel on YouTube here, you're going to see some of that coming up here. And I'm going to try to do some stuff out in Grand Rapids in about 2 weeks. So I won't be here for that the Beer Flow show in about 2 weeks for that one, but I'll be out in Grand Rapids. Hopefully I'll do some founder stuff, maybe some hideout stuff. If I can get up to Peren Brewing up by Comstock Park, which is north of Grand Rapids, be able to do that vlog a little bit for you guys. So yeah, there's some stuff coming up on the channel. It's Eric Alliance Fan on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Eric, do some live video from Founders if you get a chance to.
Yeah, I'm going to, Todd. I'm going to try.
Okay. I'd like to see it. Just check it out.
And when you pull up Eric Alliance Fan, it's all one word. So just make sure you click that. Or Eric, if you want to type something in the comments, you can just go to the three dots.
I'll go ahead and let me grab my mouse here. I'm going to go ahead and type it in the comments for you guys. So right on the right hand side, when I type it in, there's three little gray dots. If you click that, it should take you to my YouTube channel.
I'll get you all set up.
What about my channel, Rod? I got a new subscriber today.
What about your channel, Todd? Anything upcoming?
I'm up to 7 subscribers now, so check it out. I do absolutely nothing, but you can check it out anyway.
Are you on YouTube now, Todd?
I don't know. I guess if you join on there, you automatically have a channel, right? I guess.
There's Todd on all the other channels. Well, actually, you may be on Joe's channel next week if you guys get together and do that review. But
yeah, since Joe's not here, check out. We're supposed to do a live 18th Street collab. Well, two different beers: the Hunter, Standard Hunter, and then the Hunter Coconut.
Yeah, and so Joe's
channel, check that out next week.
Joe's channel is the Beer Patrol, so it's Patrol with 2 L's on it. So the Beer Patrol. So you can check out what Joe's going to do, and then with me, as I mentioned, in case you didn't see earlier. So actually, I'm glad I brought that point because next week I won't be here for the Beer Flow. show because I will be in Chicago. So I will be out probably at Lagunitas doing some stuff there. So hopefully gathering some great footage and bringing some stuff back along those lines. And then maybe some of the other breweries that I can get around to up there as well and do some stuff. Oh, I thought it was Miller Coors. Gabriel said Anheuser-Busch makes Shock Top. So I thought it was the other one. But yeah.
I did too.
And then this weekend, I'll probably do the last of the series about the beverage cooler. If anybody's been following those, I actually have the final review of what I thought about it over the first week or two here of having that beverage cooler. So I'll get that uploaded. And then in any of the videos in the description, if people do want to look at it, I'm not doing anything like to endorse them or along those lines, but if people do want to look at it, they're thinking about getting something, there is a code in there where you can do code BeerVentures and it gives you a 20% discount. So for me,
what's the standard price on that, Rod, without the 20%? Do you know?
I think it's like $250 for the cooler. So
looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it's nice and everything so far. So when I do the review, I'll talk about it there. And I did it the way I set it up. A lot of people have been doing stuff, and I think some people have been doing it more with the cans, but in the world that I'm usually in, it seems with craft beer, I'm doing more bottles than I usually get. So I set it up, seeing what the bottles would be, and it does cut how much it can hold significantly. So you're probably like in the mid 50s rather than the 80 something that they say you can hold in there for the cans and everything. So it all matter how you want to set it up and how you want to actually handle everything. But I'll get that up there. And then one of the guys earlier today, which I didn't realize, he requested for me to do a video on one of the Country Boy beers. Was Todd, Country Boy and everything. And I'm like, no, I've done Country Boy before. He's like, no, you have not. I've looked under your videos, and he was working with me. And I pulled up. I've never done a Country Boy. I've had Shotgun Wet, and I've had some of their other beers. So I'm going to actually upload. When I went to Lexington a few weeks ago, in the hotel I stayed, I actually picked up 4 beers and did some reviews from the hotel. So one of them I picked up was actually the Key Lime. I think it's Key Lime Cougar Bait, or one of the Key Lime ones. So I'll probably get that uploaded here at some point, But if there's other beers you guys want to see, let me know. That I'll try to get those uploaded too for you guys, and anything you're looking to check out. And outside of that, I want to try to get some more of the beer reviews and stuff uploaded. And I would like to go back at some point and do more like some of the beer news, and then do some more of the hops type segments. It's just to find the time to do all of that. But anything you guys are looking at, check it out. And thank you, Jada Diva says hi, Rod and beer, and he's from Bumpy Road Brewing. And anything that you guys think you might want to see on the channel, just give me a shout. Let me know. But that being said, next week, no beer flow, and then like the following week, Eric says he's not here. That week might be iffy as well, depending, because might be out of town for something for that too. And then that following week, I'm actually going to be out of town in Toledo, and I'm going to be actually seeing Black Frog Brewing up there and getting some of their beer stuff. So next 3 weeks, 2 to 3 for sure, there's no beer flow, but 2 weeks from now, there may not be one as well. So
but next Thursday, look at Joe's channel though, so we might do our live review next Thursday.
Yeah. So next Thursday, like on the Beer Patrol, these guys will get out. And they'll do a live, and Todd, Todd gets one step closer to his own channel, possibly. So, but at this point, I'll turn it over to Eric before we close everything down.
All right, guys. If you had too much to drink, please get a designated driver, because there's 0 tolerance now. But if you're going to try to be a hero and do it, you're going to get pulled over by the cops. You're going to do stupid sobriety tests. They're going to make you look like a fool. Then you get a free ride to jail. Then you're going to have court fees and possible prison time. And then if you hit or kill somebody, you're going to be in the slammer for a while. And if you kill yourself, all you've done is put yourself 6 feet under and hurt your family and friends, all right? Just sleep off your buzz and get your car the next day, okay?
Yeah. So don't do that stupid sobriety test.
Words of wisdom.
And if you want, you just know the consequences.
Yeah. It's because we care. We share this. We share because we care.
We share because we care.
That all being said, thanks for swinging by to check out another video and see what we're doing tonight. Always appreciate it. Look forward to catching you guys next time. And if we don't do a beer flow, maybe we'll have some other impromptu live type stuff as well. That all being said, I'll catch up with you guys later. Have a good one. Keep drinking those good craft beers. Remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Cheers.